Hello everybody and welcome to Arsen Girl Gaming. My name is Heather and I thank you for joining me for another Sims 4 on PS4 video. This time I am doing an actual speed build. Yeah, so what I have decided to do is to go into Del Sol Valley, and I am going to take one of the lots in Del Sol Valley, convert it into a tiny house community. So this will be a series. I will be doing several episodes where I build different style tiny houses, but it's going to be tied together into one community. So each episode is going to kind of grow on the one before with the addition of a new house and also turning this lot into a community, not just a lot with a bunch of houses on it. And then I'm going to bring in some Sims. I'm going to move them in, and I'm not going to have families or anything. I think each house is going to have one Sim, and then I'm going to just let them kind of see what happens. And it might be one of those playthroughs where I just kind of let them do their thing, but we'll see. It all just kind of depends on what happens with the houses. So I'm going to go ahead and blow up this lot now. And then the next thing I'm going to do is look at how this lot will get saved to my gallery. So even though we don't have a gallery where we all can share, I am hopeful that someday that will be added to console. So I'm going to go in and make sure that however I place this in the gallery, it has a good look. So the first thing I do is I come in here, I look at the empty lot, and I kind of make sure when I start building everything's facing the front. And I'm going to do that based on that driveway that you see there. That's going to be the front center of the neighborhood, and everything's going to be built around that, so that when I do upload it into my own personal gallery and perhaps someday into a general larger gallery, it'll look good. So that's just a little trick that I learned from The Sims 4, because I have uploaded so many houses that were turned sideways and just hideous that now I build specifically for gallery uploads. Call me crazy. Now this first little tiny house that I'm going to build is going to be a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. It is a 1-story, and it is designed for one person, maybe a couple to live in. It has indoor-outdoor living, and I'm just adjusting the lights here so that the lighting is good to work with. But this house is going to be kind of an industrial feel. And the idea is that each of these houses I do is going to have a different feel to it. They're loosely based on pictures of tiny houses that I have found online. This one is a little bit of a challenge for me because it's designed after one of those tiny houses that is on like I don't know, are they a trailer or, you know, a base with wheels so that it can be hooked up to a truck and then driven away. And now that we have different level terrain, I'm able to create it up a little higher. As you can see here, I have it higher than I have the patio space, connecting them with that stairwell so that people or Sims can get in and out. But the idea behind that is it's supposed to have wheels and it's supposed to be movable, but I don't have those tools at my disposal. Some people have used lights and other things to create wheels. What I end up doing is borrowing an idea from James Turner. I think he did his build on his Sim Supply channel a long time ago of trailer houses, maybe not a long time ago, but a little while ago, on like mobile homes basically. And what he did is he used some of the venting from the roofs to kind of make a substitute stationary stand for underneath the house. So I kind of borrowed his idea. So thank you, James, for that. And that's what I'm going to end up putting under the house so it doesn't look stupidly floating. And you're all like, And what I'll do is kind of camouflage it a little bit. If you have ever been to a tiny house park or a mobile home, so here are those units that I grabbed from the roof decorations, fireplaces, whatever, chimneys area. But if you've ever been to a tiny house park or mobile home park, you'll notice that a lot of times they kind of try to hide the underneath of the house by, with lattice or fencing or whatever. So I couldn't place a fence here. Or here you can see I'm trying to do tires. That did not come out. It looked terrible. So anyway, what I did is I went in and I found a wall hanging, because you'll see here I'm trying to place like fencing, but I can't because the 2 levels of the house are not going to allow that. So going in and taking another item and using it. So I found this wall hanging. This is from Get Famous. So if you don't have it, you won't have this in your game, but you can find something else. And what I did is I sized it down. Now with the keyboard and mouse support on PlayStation 4 and Xbox, we now have those controls just like in mobile, or not mobile, I'm sorry, just like in PC. We had them without the keyboard and mouse, but they were kind of clunky to use. So now you just hit, I believe it's control and the bracket for either direction. And so what I did is I sized down those pieces, and I didn't use them to cover the whole foundation because I was just doing a facade so that if somebody came to visit this house, they would be like, oh, that's charming. Most of the time people aren't going to walk behind it, and if they do, who cares? So if you're behind my house, I'm not using that backyard for anything. I don't care what you see. And I did try to match the color scheme that I was doing in the house. And it, I kind of went with like bold, kind of masculine feel to this. I wanted to use a lot of woods, a lot of black to simulate like metals. And here, you can see with a tiny house, you're kind of constrained in the size of, or the placement of furniture, utilities, things like that. So I put this bed in here because I wanted to make sure to get a full-on bedroom and a washroom. So by putting the bed in there, I was kind of able to figure out where the Sims would be able to walk. I have not play tested this, so I'm hopeful that my Sim will be able to get into the bed with the area that I left around it. I wanted to have a dresser, something where they could change their clothes. This from Get Famous is a godsend because it's just one tile big, so it can go in tight spots. So that's why that's in the bathroom. It's a little bit more fancy and not quite industrial like I was hoping, but it worked. So I was able to lay that out. And now, because I don't have any Sims living in the houses at this time, I did not do any like clutter, things like that. It's just the basics. So my idea is that these Sims are going to move in. It's going to be a furnished house. They're going to come in. They'll bring their clutter with them. Hopefully, because it's a tiny house, they won't bring a lot of clutter with them because space is at a premium. And yeah, so that was the whole idea behind this. I did very minimal landscaping. And for that, I did the minimal because I'm not really sure of how I'm going to tie it all together when I have all the rest of the houses. So I didn't want to have a lot of stuff that I had to remove. So basically, my mind, I was saying to myself, well, it's just done up enough that they can come and house shop and pick the house they want to live in. And go from there, because I'm not going to assign houses when I bring the Sims in. I'm just going to make or bring in from the gallery however many Sims I have houses. I'm going to throw them on the lot and I'm going to let them go to the house that they want. I think it's going to be hilarious. I'm going to try to play with very minimal interaction with the Sims, and so just keep an eye out on the channel for that, because I've never done that before, throwing a whole bunch of Sims on a lot and just watch to see what would happen. But I love my unfiltered gameplay, which is basically any time that I'm just playing The Sims as a spectator. I just put them in, let them go, and I love to see what they get up to. Maybe a little pushing, prodding here and there, but very little interference from me. And yeah, so that's kind of how I'm seeing this play out. I reserve the right to change that down the line because it may be a failure. It may not. Who knows? But I'm really giddy. I'm kind of excited about this whole thing. I'm really excited to be able to build on console with keyboard and mouse because it's amazing. Now, I will tell you, if you haven't tried a keyboard and mouse yet, I've been getting many reports that you must attach both a keyboard and a mouse at the same time in order for the mouse to work. So if you try to do a mouse and it doesn't work, get a keyboard, attach it, and go from there. You can do both USB and Bluetooth. So if you don't have a lot of USB ports, you can do the Bluetooth. Now we're getting about done here, so I am going to stop talking so much about that. But I do want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and let me know you watched. And of course, leave me any comments you might have and tell me what you think about the idea of this series. Of course, if you're new to my channel and you'd like to see more, go ahead and subscribe and then ring the bell because that will let YouTube know you like notifications when I post something new on the channel, and that way you won't miss out on anything coming. I have lots of good stuff coming and I can't wait to share it with you. So I will see you guys again real soon, and until then, have a great one.